Hello everybody, and you're very welcome back to a little tutorial on a traditional triangle using garden plant material. And today I'm going to do kind of a very basic outline, step by step, for beginners maybe, that you can see what you have in your gardens and go out and pick some nice foliage and some flowers and come in and create something for your house. Now I'm gone back to basics with a traditional style urn. This is waterproof, which is important, and I'm using a piece of Floral Foam, which is the Noir, which is the dark foam, because it was a piece I had sealed in a plastic bag to keep the moisture in. Now I did the last one of these tutorials in May, and this one is in June, and I'm a little bit late doing it, but better late than never. Hopefully you will enjoy it and maybe pick up a few tips and learn something from what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go step by step as to what you can do to build up your design. Well, this is the way I was taught, and it's the way I try to teach at my classes as well, I hope anyway, and it gets across to people. So I have three basic stages when I do a flower arrangement, a traditional flower arrangement. I have outline, and I have transition or filling in, and center or focal plant material. And the outline material can be anything from spiky leaves to conifers to flowers, and we're going to go through each of the different plant materials, and I will explain to you what they are and what they do. Now, when I picked these flowers in the garden last night, I don't know if you can see now, but you will see as I go along, there's a kind of a yellow and creamy kind of a theme through this design. So the Phormiums, these are the New Zealand flaxes, are quite good to give you a good upward line, to give you definition in when you're doing your design. So to get, people often ask me, how do you know how big this should be or how small? So I'm very bad at maths, but anyway, I kind of just go by 1 to 1.5 times the height of my container, and hopefully that will give me a good line. Now I'm going to cut this up this way actually, and this way, cutting a little piece out so that I have the midrib to go down so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Now I will just turn that around just to show, because you don't want to put it in right at the back or in the front, a little bit back and a little bit leaning. Now I can't tell you the name of this Phormium because I didn't get a name with it when I bought it, and I have not been able to identify it. So again, I'm going to just cut a piece like this, and so we have a strong midrib to put into the oasis so it doesn't take up space. I'm just going to put a couple of these together to give me my height. Now you stand back and you have a look, you see at whether it looks in scale or not. I'm going to put a smaller one here. Now today I decided to do this little den out in my garden, and it's a work in progress. This garden is I used to have a nursery out here in this space, but over the years life changed and I haven't got that here now, but I am re-landscaping it with some nice beds of plant material for cutting and for pollinating. Now the next thing I'm going to use is outline material should be light and airy and not too heavy. I know these are heavy, but that's just for the upright. And this is a Thuya called Thuya Sunkist, which has a nice yellow tint to it. And I'm putting a bit out the back. Now you can also use some of this Cupressus. This is Chamaecyparis Golden King, which is a nice golden member of the Chamaecyparis family. You can use other shrubs as well that have nice light foliage. Depending on the scale of the design you're using, you can use something like box, which is very good. Astilbe likes damp conditions to grow, and I'm afraid I don't have this in my garden because it's so dry. And everything, I was speaking to another gardener this morning, and he was saying that things are a little bit at a standstill in the garden. They're not just getting on with it. So why that is, I don't know. But I think plants know about the weather. Behind me, I don't know if you're able to see from on this little video, is my pink pollinator bed, and pink and purples and lilac-y colours. And then behind me completely is my hotbed, which has more, I suppose, architectural planting in it. And as I say, it is a work in progress, and I'm hoping to develop some more beds as the time goes on. Now that colour is just to pick up the colour of the urn, so that's just to make a little light outline in this design. Now that's kind of outline plant material. Now I'm going to put in some kind of more filling in, and normally in the winter time, if I was doing this design, I would be using as transition or filling in foliage something like Pittosporum, eucalyptus. There would be a smaller scale and a different texture to the conifer, and that form, just to give a lot of transition to link the areas together. But today I'm going to use flowers for this, and some other all flowers really I'm going to use. So I have here, which I picked, are some of these yellow pokers. They're called Sunningdale Gold, I think. Apologies everybody, we had a little interruption. I live on a working farm, and a tractor had to come up and make noise. So I had, while I was away waiting for the tractor to go, I just added in a few more little pieces of Achillea and a few more of the pokers into the design. Now I will continue with some more of the Achillea, just to bring out the shape a little bit better. I like to have a good bit of depth in the design. So now that's a few more of the Achilleas put in, and as I turn it around you will see that the back is fairly filled out, and it's got a bit of a tummy on it. So now the next thing I'm going to add in, the cream is to pick up the colour of the urn, and I also have some of these nice aconites called Ivorine here. So I'm just popping these in now, and I will show you when I turn it around where they are gone through the design. So that's the aconites. Now I had this foliage I had picked. This is Prunus marbled white, which is a very good foliage if anybody does church flowers, because it's long lasting, it's waxy, and it's nice when you have white marble. It's just a very good plant material with white flowers in a church. Now I have put in, this is the problem when you're using flowers as transition as well. I have, my focal area has kind of got lost. I have outline, transition and focal area. So I have here for my focal area, you can use any of larger leaves. These are begonias with the rounded edge, and these are hostas. Now hostas, just move this to one side. Hostas come in a myriad of colours. This is a blue one, and this is a nice variegated one. And I have this one called Patriot, which is another nice one with a white edge. I grew these from seed many years ago, and I'm not sure what the variety is. I think it could be Seboldii. And you get plants at plant sales and they don't have names, and it's quite difficult to figure out who's who. Now there's a little bit of a gap at the sides here, at both sides. So I have a little bit more housekeeping to do here. Now, when I was picking, parsley seeds, seed heads can look very nice in designs as well, and if you're doing small work like petites or miniatures, they're very, very useful. This is another conifer, which is kind of bluer, grayer one, which has lovely long for outline work as well. People just don't like conifers. They think they're all Leylandis, which is an awful pity because there is a range, a huge range of conifers. This is chamois cypress called white spot, and this one is chamois cypress Phylloferia aurea, which is a lovely, feathery, light foliage. Now, well, we see what have we got next here now. The next thing I have, which is probably a bane of a lot of people's life, is this lady's mantle, Alchemilla Mollisa, which tends to seed everywhere in the garden, but it has its uses. And it's very, very nice plant to have. And the secret is, to stop it seeding everywhere, is to cut back the dead flowers before they go to seed. And it makes a lovely frothy, limey green foliage, or flower. The foliage is this fluffy kind of greeny leaf, but the flowers are the little tiny little bits on it. Now I've put in the Alchemilla Mollisa without turning it around to showing you, but I will turn it around now and let you see what it looks like with the Alchemilla. So hopefully it's coming together a little bit better now. There's still a few gaps here now. So now I am going to add in, oh, there's another piece of Achillea. I'll turn it around now and I'll put him in up there so he's coming up to the top. He's a little one. And with this type of design, your smallest flowers should go to the top and the extremities, and then your larger flowers come into the centre. But again, with garden flowers, that's not always easy to do. Now I have some Sweet William, which I grew from seed the year before last, and they're flowering and they're in lots of different colours. But this is, I picked the white ones, and you can sow Sweet William seeds now, and you'll have them flowering. They might flower next year for you, and then once you have them forever. Now here we go with some of the Sweet William. I've put those, they're coming right down through the design, and I've kept the largest one for the centre. So it has a bit of a tummy and it has the back. So now I think we're not doing too bad. I don't want to stuff it. I don't want to make it too busy, because you have to leave room for the butterflies, and they're flitting around behind me here, and there's an odd fly and hoverfly and bee arriving on this. This is another lovely plant called Thalictrum Flavium, which is the meadow rue, and it's again yellow. Now I'm just going to take off a few little bits off the side because I see a few gaps, and it's kind of similar to the Alchemilla, so I'm going to put a few little bits in just to fill up, and I might put a little bit down through the design. To get a bunch of flowers. I picked these when I was picking the others last night. The beautiful Mahonia berries. Aren't they beautiful? They're like little bunches of grapes. Now I was going to put some lilac flowers through this, but I don't think I am now, so they were going to pick up that. And if you wanted to do a lilac-y theme, this is Linaria, the toad flax, and this is Verbena bonariensis, which is another good pollinator. They would be perfect to put through that. The colours would look well together. Now, I don't know if I'm going to... These are lovely. These are the Shasta daisies, but they're not out yet with me, so I'm not going to use them, because that's all I have at the moment. And this is another very good plant for flower arranging, which is called Astrantia, Aunt Hattie's pincushion. It's got little pincushions on the top, but it hasn't got a very pleasant smell, I'm afraid, but it's very good plant also. And then we have some poppy seed heads. These are the opium poppy seed heads, which are very, very good for flower arranging. And they're there at the moment, and then you can pick them and you can dry them, and they're just a different form to put in here, and they give a little bit of interest coming down through the design. And they don't have a very pleasant smell either, but it's only when you're cutting them. And they have a lovely little ray of little design at the front of them. And these, when you pick the seeds, you can let them dry, and then you can sow the seeds on fresh clay that has been disturbed, and then they will come back and they can become a bit of a pest. You might have to weed them out because they're very, very prolific when they do flower and seed all over the place, but they're well worth having, and they come in beautiful colours. I'm not sure now which ones these were, because I didn't, they were seeding where they shouldn't have been, so that's why they got beheaded. I took the seeds off because I didn't want them seeding onto the path. And I've made a bit of a mess, and I decided to come out into the sun and out to the garden. Sorry about that. Apologies again for the geese. But there we have our traditional triangle with yellows and whites and creams, and I hope you enjoyed the little teaching them on how you go about producing a triangle, and have a go and have fun. It's not too serious, and if it doesn't work, try again, and it's just all in beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as they say. So enjoy what you do, that's the main thing. And I'm hoping you've all got through COVID okay, and that we'll all get back to doing our flower clubs meetings and going to teaching and classes, and I hope I'll have my classes up and running again in September. And thank you for listening to me rattle on about my triangle, and thanks to my son Rob for doing the videoing for me again. because I would not be able to do it without him. Thank you very much. See you in July, hopefully, with another video. Bye.